What's up, everybody? This is Kyle Ott for Draft Radio. With the new program that we're starting, doing some fun drafts on TaptOut.net, trying to get the community involved and giving you just a little bit more bang for your buck in terms of drafting. TaptOut.net, by the way, is a fun little resource that we like to use. We grinders like to use it anyway, just to do things like that. So what TaptOut.net is just a fun little resource. You know, you can go on here, you can host a live draft. I'm hosting a Journey to Knicks THS block draft, and that's what we're gonna do. So with that being said, before we continue, we're gonna take our picks here and we're gonna export it to this lovely little website called untap.in. It's a beta testing site for playtesting decks, so anything from EDH to modern and stuff like that. And without further ado, we're going right on into the pack. Welcome everybody to Draft Radio. Seems like a pretty good pack so far. I feel as if you could do some fun things with Skybind. Simply because of how Constellation works. There's Cast into Darkness. I like Cast into Darkness a lot. It works a lot like spot removal in most cases like that. There's also an Oresco Swiftclaw. However, I think the best card here by leaps and bounds is the Golden Hind. So we're going to take the Golden Hind. Alright, what do we got now? There is a Nightmarish End. It jumps out and grabs me. Card is phenomenal. It's one of the few cards actually that beats out a Johnny's Presence. Johnny's Presence is some strong stuff. There's also an Eidolon of the Great Revel, which just seems terrible for us. So we're going to take the Nightmarish End. Best card in the pack by leaps and bounds. Sad to see there's no green stuff, although there's a lot of red and not all of it is that good. I guess Rollick of Abandon's fine. It's just a really crappy Pyroclasm. And a Crow and Linebreaker is fine too. I actually like Gluttonous Cyclops, I think, more than I like Linebreaker. But we're going to take Nightmarish End. Can't say no to free spot removal, can you? We've got, interesting, so there's no really great green and no really great black. Best cards in the pack, I think, are probably both white. Leonin Iconoclast is pretty decent. I mean, just shooting this guy up and blowing up an opponent's enchantment tends to be pretty solid. There's also a Nature's Panoply, which is a respectable combat trick, pretty decent heroic enabler. There's another aerial formation. I would be more comfortable taking aerial formation if we'd taken Pin to the Earth last pick, but that's fine. There's a Supply Line Cranes too. I really like Supply Line Cranes. I'm not opposed to running like a more mid-rangey sort of deck in this format. I think we're going to take Iconoclast though. A Crow Mastiff is fine too, but Iconoclast is pretty sweet. Ooh, so there is a Johnny's Presence, a Nyx Infusion. There's still no good green card, so we're probably going to get cut from green. Oh, there's a Vanishing Light. Never mind. I didn't even say it. Whoops. Yeah, we're taking Vanishing Light. That card's insane. Oh, man. That would have been really funny if I'd passed that. Vanishing Light is good. Tetmos High Priest. Interesting. I don't think I've ever actually had the pleasure of using this guy in a draft. I don't know how good he is. Stonewise Fortifier is fine. Laganaband Trailblazer is fine. This is just a really lame pack. Cyclops of Eternal Flame just seems kind of... Oh, I'm sorry. Eternal Fury seems lame. We'll try the Thutmose High Priest. Why not? I'm willing to try anything once. Interesting. So there's a Pin to the Earth, a Feast of Dreams, Mortal Obstinacy, Armory of Eros. This is another card that it seems like it's either really hit or miss. Sometimes this card is just going to be insane, but most of the time I feel like Armory is kind of bad. So we'll probably take Feast of Dreams here. Pin to the Earth is fine. Mortal Obstinacy is really good. I mean, it does go with our Iconoclast and our Thutmose High Priest. Maybe we do take Obstinacy. I mean, if we're trying to go white, heroic, Feast of Dreams is just kind of nice removal. You don't really get it very often. I'm going to take Obstinacy. It's fine. We'll see what else wheels in this pack. Well, we're definitely not taking Font of Vigor. We will happily take Bloodcrazed Hoplite, however. That does go really well with our other picks. We'll also take a Nyx Infusion here, too. Spot removal is good. Interesting. So we have a Cruel Feeding. The choice, I think, for us is between Cruel Feeding and Nyx Infusion. I'm just going to take a second Nyx Infusion. I mean, this card is really good if we can get some good enchantment creatures, and I'll be honest, I mean, it's nice having a 3-mana kill spell that says, hey, that can just waste annoying creatures. Laganaband Elder or Armament of Nyx. I'm probably going to take the Trailblazer here. We already have enough 3-drop removal in Nightmarish End and the 2 Nyx infusions that we don't really need a crappier version of one of those things. So take Laguna-Ban Trailblazer here and kind of smile happily. I'm really sad that we can't play our first pick Goldenhind, though. That's kind of unfortunate. It happens. It happens. Alright. Who's taking a while? Who's slowing my draft down? Neon Dragon. You silly man. So what are we looking for then? If you guys don't mind me scrolling so much, I apologize for that. The one problem with this interface, other than, it's free. So we've got a pretty nice removal suite. We got the 2 Nyx infusions, Nightmarish End, and then Banishing Light. Iconoclast is good. So we're probably looking for high quality bestow cards to find. The thing is, there's not many high quality black bestow cards. They're mostly in white and blue. Like, you're not going to get something as high quality as Nimbus Naiad in the black-white deck. I mean, we could find something. We could find something nice. We're not necessarily married to this. Our white's pretty weak, actually. Our black is really strong. The Bloodcraze Hoplite is nice. The 2 Nyx infusions, the Nightmarish End. But I mean, we could still wind up black green, black blue, something like that. I'm not married to this. Plus, we can splash for Banishing Light. If we get black green, we get some Nihilious Presence, get some other stuff like that. While we have a second, I'll tell you a little bit of some of the cool stuff. Why I like this as a free resource. And this isn't going to be the only free resource that we use on Draft Radio. I want to do a couple more videos showing you guys how to get a little more bang out of your buck. So we've got some fun stuff going on here. It tells us exactly what kind of types we've got and all of our creature pools and all this. Fun little card costs. Converted mana cost tables. It's really nice. Ooh, it's a late aerial formation. We're going to take aerial formation. We're also going to take Rise of Eagles. That's really late as well. And a Thassa's Devourer. So now we actually could do. I'm not going to play Font of Vigor. Although, well, if I'm desperate for enchantments and I was going to do Constellation, maybe I would play Font of Vigor. But I'm not going to play Font of Vigor. Let's be real here. Nobody is playing Font of Vigor. What's the sad is with those last 3 picks, those are both 3 respectable blue cards. And I'm closer to playing black-blue. That is a Tromo Kratos. Well then. That was easy. It was Tromo Kratos. There's a Ghostblade Eidolon. There's a Vortex Elemental, Grizzly Transformation. Blah. This is just not so many fun cards. I mean, I do like Eidolon. I could play Eidolon. I probably should make a decision as to what colors I want to be in. Alright, I'm not going to be in green. We know that much. That ship has sailed, I think. I could take Cornucopia, keep my options open. Cornucopia is not super great, but I mean, if you think about it, it's a lot like Opaline Unicorn. Except that you can play it the turn that you have it. I'm going to take Cornucopia, actually. Because if we wind up in black-blue, that gives me a way to splash for that, blah, 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 whatever it's called. Banishing Light, sorry. I was so tempted to just call it Oblivion Ring, because let's be honest, we all know what it is. Siren of the Fanged Coast is good, Divination is good, Retraction Helix is good. If I take this, what would I wheel? Maybe a Gorgon's Head? I'm not opposed to playing Gorgon's Head. There's a Servant of Timuret too. Interesting. What would you... Well, let's see here. If I'm going to play Control, if I'm going to play black-blue Control, I probably actually want Servant over Siren. I mean, Siren's pretty good. I mean, I want all these cards. I'm going to take Servant. It's probably a mispick, but I'm going to take Servant. I will also take Archetype. So we're going to be in black. We're looking like a black-blue Control build, which is fine, actually. That works really well for us. Chorus of Tides is respectable. I like it better than Vortex Elemental. Sometimes you just need a Snapping Drake. Eater of Hope, which is not here. Do I want an Eater of Hope? I mean, it's a really expensive 7-drop. I'll hide these. So I don't need these. I will probably splash for Banishing Light, however. I mean, now that we have a Cornucopia to do it. I don't really want a 7-drop, but there's really nothing else to take over it. I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to take Swordwise Centaur and hate draft it, because I don't want my opponents to have that kind of a card. Sudden Storm is decent. There's also Springleaf Drum. We'll take Sudden Storm here. Ooh, that's a really late Nyxborn Triton. Take that. Happy about that one. That Floodtide Serpent. Not bad at all. Grizzly Transformation. Yeah. This is coming together. Could be worse. Could be stabbed. Could always be stabbed. Oh, man. I'm really excited for the next format. We just talk about that for a little bit. I have had my fill of Theros. I have been Therosed out. However, you guys are still competing for Theros, so do a draft video. Figured it'd be nice for you guys to benefit either from my successes or my failures. So what are we looking for now? Our 3-drop slot seems pretty good. We've got some good stuff. Probably looking for more low drops. I wouldn't mind like grabbing an Omen Speaker or like a Return Phalanx or something like that in the next pack. I mean, obviously, if we open something like a Bident or a Whip, we're gonna snag that ASAP. But I mean, there's really not. There's like a lot of room that we can go with this, and we're never gonna play Forsaken Drifters. Well, would we play Forsaken Drifters? I am a little creature light. I'm not gonna play Hold It, but yeah, we'll take Forsaken Drifters. Why not? I mean, I think the deck is fine. You got to think of Forsaken Drifters too as like a 4-mana, like just destroy target attacking creature spell. It's second Grizzly Transformation though. Grizzly Transformation is decent. Okay, now we get a second Forsaken Drifters. No love for Cyclops of One Eye Pass, huh? I find that card decent. We're operating on the drags now. It's not so bad. Could be worse. We got a little early in Mana Acceleration in the Astral Cornucopia. We still got a really nice removal suite. Tromo Kratos does a really good job of ending a game. Thassa's Devour is not terrible. We got like a little minor mill thing going on. Floodtide Serpent's fine. Archetype of Imagination is fine. We just need lower drops. Ugh. Spear. I want Spear. Should have stayed in white. Oh well. Grab Disciple. Disciple's fine. Gotta get into discard stuff. There was also like a Dissolve in that pack and Pharika's Cure, which all acceptable cards, perfectly acceptable cards. But I mean, come on, it's Disciple. We need like a Gray Merchant or two. That's all I want in life is a Gray Merchant. Alright, let's be real. I'm not playing second one of those Forsaken Drifters. Alright, no Gray Merchants. There is a Traveler's Amulet. I think we're just going to take Pharika's Cure. Pharika's Cure is fine. As is a second Disciple. We're going to take Bronze Sable, actually. I mean, Benthic Giant is a perfectly acceptable card. Wow, there's just a lot of good stuff in here, but that's fine. Bronze Sable is decent. Gives us a 2-drop, lets us block. I'm not going to kick it out of bed for eating crackers. There's the Omen Speaker that we wanted. There he is. What are we passing? Skull Cleaver? Asphodel Wanderer is not that great. Titan of Eternal Flame. What? I don't know how good he is in draft. I've never actually had the chance to play him in draft, but my god, I think he's just the coolest card. Just the idea that like Prometheus worked his way into this set is I think that's kind of cool. Alright, so what are we not going to play? I'm not going to play a set. Well, I might actually wind up playing that second Forsaken Drifter. Every time I scroll down to be like, hey, we're not playing you, Forsaken Drifter. Every time I'm like, we might actually need another creature. It just makes me just a little bit sad. Oh gosh. That's fine. We have a Tromo Kratos, though. I mean, we have Tromo Kratos, Sudden Storm, a couple good removal spells. Could be worse. Do I want Viper's Kiss or March of the Returned? Viper's Kiss? Viper's Kiss isn't terrible. I mean, it's good spot removal against stuff like Vaporkin. It's also pretty nice against like Favored Hoplite and stuff like that. It makes them reconsider targeting their stuff on there. And I don't really want to play Forsaken. Well, actually, if I play March their turn, those 2 Forsaken Drifters get a lot better. Because what? They mill the top 4? And then I have, March their turn. Alright. Suddenly, this deck became the March of the Return Forsaken Drifters deck. We'll take Return Phalanx, though. That is exactly what we wanted. We do want Return Phalanx. Ooh, and a Lash the Whip. Alright. This is going pretty well now. Alright. Superior drafting. That's what I like to see. We wheel a Pharika's Cure, which we will happily take. It's important to have a lot of low drop stuff in this format, by the way. Even it has slowed down a lot. The introduction of Journey into Nyx has definitely definitely sort of stymied the pace. Speaking of stymied the pace, oh, I thought that was a stymied hopes. Lost in the Labyrinth, you say? Interesting. I've actually run Lost in the Labyrinth in like a really hyper aggressive blue-white heroic deck, and it wasn't terrible because like at their end step you could target your guy, and then like cap down somebody, or get them more +1/+1 counters, or do whatever, and then you get the scry off. And it was also pretty good when you would swing in. Also, Cavalry Pegasus is just nuts in the right deck. It's not nuts all the time. You really do have to draft around this card. Fleet Feather Sandals, on the other hand, is decent. It's not a terrible sideboard. Which card do I not want to see the most? Cetacean Griffin. Which card do I not want to see the most? Portent of Betrayal. And we wheel a Viper's Kiss, though. Not bad, not bad. Are we wheel things like a boss? I'm not gonna. There we go. And it's another Cetacean Griffin. So our deck is not super powerful. Like, we don't have a ton of like high impact cards, but we have a Tromo Kratos. We have an Archetype. We've got pretty nice removal suite. Our 2-drops are actually really good. Like, we've got a Return Phalanx and stuff like that. The 2 Pharika's Cures. Definitely not something to slouch at. So we've got a lot of removal spells. I mean, I think we're going to be alright. Hour of Need. Oh, God. Oh, you first picked an Hour of Need and then dropped out of the draft? Whew. Girl. Come on now. Hour of Need is sweet. Hour of Need is sweet. Alright. This is a fun little thing. You can decide if you want to put them in your main or your sideboard. Here, I'm going to show you guys what I like to do. I like to just scroll down and go save, because then it just takes me right to my deck list. Yeah. And then from here I can hack out what I don't want. So let's see, we've got, I'm not mainboarding in Fleet Feather Sandals, I know that much. March of the Return is fine. Nyx Infusion. I probably won't mainboard in Viper's Kiss. Do I even want Aerial Formation? I definitely want both Pharika's Cures. I don't think I want Aerial Formation. I might not even splash for Banishing Light. Well, I may. Well, we'll see. We'll see how I feel about that in a second. What we're going to do is we're going to refresh this, and it's going to take us to this deck list again. Boom! There it is. So what we have 15, 25, 27, 26, no, 28, sorry. I can't count. I can't math. So we have to cut some stuff then. I'm not cutting any of this stuff. This stuff is sweet. I probably will cut the Banishing Light. I will most likely wind up cutting a Grizzly Transformation. Banishing Light. I'm actually going to keep Astral Cornucopia in here, because in all honesty, this is going to be just really sweet. Like, for 3 mana, it's still it's an Opaline Unicorn. That's what it is. It's Opaline Unicorn. You pay 3 mana and you get an Opaline Unicorn that you can tap, and it's not bad. It could be worse. Could always be worse. Probably don't want to play 2 Forsaken Drifters. Maybe I should have taken a Forsaken Drifters out and left. If I take out both Forsaken Drifters, then what am I going to do with this March of the Return? I'm probably going to take, well, what's my 2-drop slot? This is cool. This is what I love about this, because you can just scroll right down and go right to your 2-drops. Be like, boom! Tell me what my 2-drops are. Oh, come on, tapped out. Don't do this to me. Boom! What are my 2-drops? There we go. What are my black 2-drops? Blood Craze, Hoplite, Bronze Sable. Oh, no, I did all my 2-drops. Nice. Pharika's Cure. So we've got 4 2-drops. I probably don't want to cut any more of these 2-drops. I think I'm going to cut a Forsaken Drifters. That seems acceptable. Yeah. Cut a Forsaken Drifter. Alright. Oh, what is this? It won't... Actually, now that I think about that, I probably want to cut Floodtide Serpent. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to cut Floodtide Serpent, because I don't have that many enchantments to like make that really that good. And then it would just be a 5-mana 4/4 defender, whereas Forsaken Drifters actually attack pretty well, and they don't trade terribly, and they synergy pretty nicely with March of the Return. Alright. So that's 14, 19, 21, 23, 24. So cut one more card. Interesting. What do we cut? We can cut Thassa's Devourer is not great for us. How does this deck win? Let's talk about this. This deck wins with a combination of removal, form of Lash Whip, Nightmare Shen, 2 Freakish Cures, Sudden Storm to get us out of tight spots, Nyx Infusion, Recursion in the form of March of the Return and the 2 Forsaken Drifters. A pretty aggressive 2-drop slot, not gonna lie. We got a nice little Bronze Sable, Bloodcrazed Hoplite. We also have finishers in the form of flyers, like Archetype of Imagination. We have a nice little mid-drop flyer in the Chorus of the Tides. Then we also have Nyxborn Triton as a means of bestowing stuff, and we've got early control. We've got a Servant of Timer to help us get through tough stuff. So maybe we do want to cut the Thassa's Devourer. The other thing we could cut would be the Rise of the Eagles. The Rise of the Phoenix. Tenacious D. Anybody? Bueller? We could cut that. The double blue mana symbol is kind of hard to deal with. This is actually my favorite of the token producing cards. There's this one, and then there's, what is it? It's Flurry of Horns, although I do really like Flurry of Horns too. I ran like a red-white mid-range sort of thing and ran Flurry of Horns. I actually don't mind him so much here when we have that March of the Return. Maybe I should cut one though. Well, yeah, we can cut one. It seems like it'd be worse to cut Thassa's Devourer or Rise of the Eagles for a Forsaken Drifter. One Forsaken Drifter I think is more than enough. Ooh, 12. Why 12? I had 14 creatures there. Like not 20 seconds ago. What happened? Did it lag? There's a Forsaken Drifter in here. Because that's 17, 19, 21, 22. Okay, so we're just going to add that other Forsaken Drifter back in there when we export it to tapped out. That's fine. Or to untap. Sorry, we're on tapped out right now. That's fine. Not to worry. Let's go to decks. New decks. Create new deck. Create. MTG. There we go. UB control. That's what we're doing. Lots of removal. Lots of fun stuff. Maybe we should just play 18 land. That seems bad. I don't want to play 18 land. I want to cast things and do stuff. Let's look back here. So it looks like 12 mana symbols. We're probably going to go, and then as opposed to 8, we're probably going to go 10-7. We're going to go 10 black and then 7 blue. That seems acceptable. We have that lovely Astral Cornucopia. I'm actually really happy we picked that up. 7 Island. Deck is saved. Now you can just go here to your deck list. Oh, 39 cards? What do you mean there's 39 cards? Are we missing something? We're missing something. We miscounted somewhere along the line. So we can put... Oh, that's why. We forgot to put in a Forsaken Drifter. Forsaken Drifter. Here we go. Oh. Going back here to see if I can find it. Yeah. And in the end, it wasn't his opponents, but spelling that did Kyle in. It is so true, though. Spelling is my greatest enemy. The Rise of the Phoenix. On the plus side, though, you just get to go back here and take a look and find the cards that you're missing. Wave Crash, Triton, Culling Mark, Thassa's Rebuff, Afar's Radiance. Oh no, because I'm looking at the wrong person. Silly Kyle. Tricks are for kids. Forsaken Drifters, that's what it is. Drifters. That's the thing too, you really have to spell right on here to make this work. Okay, well, let's validate my email address before starting your games. You can do this from my profile page. Oh, well that's awkward. Alright guys, I'm going to pause this really quick and then we're going to get right back to it. It's probably going to show up as a separate video, but Draft Radio... Yeah. Validate email. How do I do that? Oh, be sure to check your spam folder. Okay, I'm going to pause this, guys, so you don't have to pay attention to this, and then we'll be right back. Sorry about that.